Hi everybody, Dana Sparks, broker of Maximum One Greater Atlanta Realtors, and this week's tip has to do with a warning that you need to bring to your clients' attention. Two warnings actually. There are still bad guys out there, and these bad guys are committing all sorts of financial fraud upon your clients, and there are some warnings that you can bring to their attention to help them prevent having any funds electronically stolen from them. The first one that again has been going on, especially rampant in the real estate industry and especially with closing attorneys, has to do with wire fraud. And the bad guys are mimicking closing attorneys and real estate agents' email addresses, and they are substituting wiring instructions to your clients. For example, if the buyer is wiring a down payment, or a seller is wiring funds to close, or any kind of wiring, or a buyer is wiring earnest money to a broker, so forth and so on, these bad guys are intercepting your emails, mimicking your emails, and then wiring your clients or emailing your clients with new changed wiring instructions. And your clients are hearing to verify. So on this new email, it's giving a phone number. Well, if your clients call that phone number that comes on the fraudulent email, they're getting a fraudulent verification that that is correct. Again, wire instructions typically are combined or are attached to a bank account, and closing attorneys and real estate brokers usually do not change bank accounts on a regular ongoing basis. So this is such a huge issue in our industry that the GAR contract for 2018 has added a beware of cyber fraud paragraph in the purchase and sale agreements, in the listing and buyer brokerage agreements, and in the consumer brochure. So let me read that to you. And then it's called Beware of Cyber Fraud. And it says fake emails get you to wire money to criminal computer hackers are increasingly common in real estate transactions. Under this scam, computer hackers fraudulently assume the online identity of the actual mortgage lender, closing attorney, and real estate broker with whom you are working in a real estate transaction. Posing as a legitimate company, they then direct you to wire the money to them. In many cases, the fake email is sent from what appears to be an authentic web page of the legitimate company responsible for sending the initial wiring instructions. You should use great caution in wiring funds based solely on wiring instructions sent to you by email. Independently, that means independent of the new instructions you got, independently verifying the wiring instructions with someone from the company sending them is the best way to prevent fraud. In particular, you should treat as highly suspect any follow-up emails you receive from a mortgage lender, closing attorney, and or real estate broker directing you to wire funds to a revised account number. Never verify wiring instructions by calling the number provided along with a second set of wiring instructions, since you may end up receiving a fake verification from the hackers trying to steal your money, so forth and so on. So that is one thing that is going on. And not only are these bad guys hacking the emails, they are also mimicking the phone numbers. I had an agent tell me of a client who got a fake text, and the text was from the phone number of a closing attorney with the new wiring instructions sent by text. So again, the bad guys not only are hacking emails, they are texting and mimicking phone numbers and sending these fake instructions by text. Now, many companies additionally have their own wire fraud disclosure warnings for clients. For example, Maximum One has one that we require all of our clients and customers to sign, and many other companies do as well. And the Maximum One is authored by closing attorney Andy Hartman of Hartman Law Firm. Thank you so much, Andy. And basically it says the same thing. Due to the increased amount of wire fraud perpetrated in many industries, including real estate settlement industry, we encourage you to be very cautious when it comes to sending or receiving money via wire transfer. Increasingly, our industry is experiencing clever computer hackers finding ways to ghost email accounts and send emails with fraudulent wiring instructions which look completely legitimate, as if they were from the trusted senders within our information chain, even down to the letterhead and signatures. When an unsuspecting person wires funds according to these bogus wiring instructions, it's often impossible to get those funds back and the person has lost the money for good. As real estate brokers, agents at Maximum One companies, we are often asked to help our buyers and sellers by sending copies of the wiring instructions for the closing attorney or lender to our buyers or sellers. While we always want to help our clients in any way we can, because of the risk of fraud involved, we are taking the position that we are no longer going to pass along the wiring instructions to you from the closing attorney or settlement agent who is ultimately responsible for receiving the funds to you or for sending settlement proceeds to you. You must communicate directly with the closing attorney or settlement agent, and under no circumstances should you rely on any wiring instructions that come from any source other than from the closing attorney or settlement agent. At this time, I am advising you that any wiring instructions for the closing attorney's account be given to you from me or anyone from my brokerage or my office, you shall regard and be presumed to be incorrect and fraudulent and shall not be used to transfer funds under any circumstances whatsoever. Likewise, it's important that before you wire any funds to contact the person or the company to which you are wiring funds and confirm by telephone that any wiring instructions they provide are current and correct. If you're wiring earnest money to Maximum One, we will send you those instructions via U.S. mail. And then there's a little bit more of the admonition in the disclosure that we use, and it does have a place. And again, at Maximum One, we do require all of our clients and customers, we give this to them so that they are aware and know the steps they can take to prevent wire fraud, and it has a place for them to sign it and date it. And many other brokers have a wire fraud disclosure as well. Now, as that says, again, I encourage every real estate agent, do not be the messenger or the sender of any wiring instructions for that buyer or seller to wire funds. Now, the other thing that is happening regarding bad guys electronically stealing money has to do with buyers after they purchase a property or someone after they refinance a property. And this information, this new scam, was brought to my attention by Cindy Corona. So thank you, Cindy, so much for bringing this to my attention. But the latest thing the bad guys are doing is they are, again, contacting you after you have closed on your property or done a refinance and telling you that your loan has been sold. They are the new servicer and you need to send your loan payment to this new company. Now, this is very clever and very sneaky of the bad guys because many loans are sold and you're told right there at the closing table, whether it be a purchase or a refi, that your loan more than likely will be sold throughout its lifetime, and many times immediately right afterwards, and a lot of times it'll be sold once, twice, immediately right away. So this is another scam that you need to be you need to be aware of, and agents, you have got to let your clients know of what's going on. So the bad guys will contact a new buyer right after they've purchased the home, and they'll say, hey, congratulations, we've just bought out your loan. We're your new loan servicer. Here's our contact information. Here's where you send your payment, so forth and so on. Again, do not trust anything. You must independently verify that information. So in this situation where a loan is more than likely going to be sold and you are getting this new information for the new loan servicer, where do you verify? Well, the best place to verify, two things to do. call your loan originator, the actual loan officer that helped the buyer, and you agents, you guys need to get your buyers to contact them directly. Again, don't be the messenger, so to speak, but you can help them with these steps, but don't actually do the work. They need to contact the actual loan originator. That loan originator will have a record of that loan being sold and the actual true company to whom that loan was sold. Number one. Number two, whomever contacts you, even if they are the legitimate person that is now servicing your new loan for your new purchase or refinance, you need to not, when they're asking you for questions, don't give them the answers, but you ask them the questions. If they call, you say, well, you tell me, what is the loan number? What is the amount? Because the amount is not going to change with the new servicer. But again, independently verified. Don't contact the numbers that come immediately on that email, but check with the original loan officer. And if you do get in touch with someone, make them answer your questions. This is another reason, agents, you really, really need to develop a great professional relationship with 2, 3, 4 loan officers that you can do business with, that you can pick up the phone and call, that you can call them by cell phone, that you can go down to their office and meet with them, and impress upon your buyers the importance of actually doing some business with someone face to face so that you can get this information, not only going through the loan process, but after the loan process as well. If a buyer is doing business with an online mortgage company, many times, number one, it's difficult to get in touch with someone as you're processing the loan and information to get it to close on a timely basis. But if there are any issues after the transaction has been closed, that buyer might be very hard pressed to actually get in touch with someone in a timely manner that can answer these questions for them to make sure that there is no financial fraud occurring, or for any other reasons that they need to get in touch with the actual loan officer. So again, thank you so much for watching. Dana Sparks, broker of Maximum One Greater Atlanta Realtors, satisfying your need with service, innovation, and education.